right? So 20 ECL 67. Previously, this lab is to be integrated with the theory subject, okay, which means if either of the one you fail, then you'll have to give both of them together again, okay? So this time it's not integrated, it's a separate lab. And your theory, I think it is 62, if I'm not mistaken, right? 20 ECL 62. Fine. And the credit it's about 1.5, and CIE for 50 marks and SCE for 50 marks. Right. So we have divided them into two cycles, cycle 1 and cycle 2. And cycle 1 is going to be the normal programs, which is not going to be interfacing. And in cycle 2, we're going to have interfacing programs, right? So we could have about 3 to 4 experiments for interfacing, and the rest is going to be the normal programs. Now, let us say, the first one is study of ARM Cortex M4 processor development board. Okay, so in this lab, I want you to actually get the specifics of ARM Cortex M4, so to say the data sheet, and look into the details of this ARM Cortex M4 as to what are the registers involved, how much is the memory, okay, what are the instructions, and what does these instructions talk about, and how many registers it has, which is the higher register, what are special registers, program counters. Have you studied about this Cortex M4 in your theory already? Is Cortex M4 already taught in theory? Yes, no?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So here you'll have to learn about the stack pointers and the program counters and some subroutines. Okay, so all those I want you to look into ARM Cortex M4. So how will you get the information? If you check for this, okay, on any of the search engines, okay, you will get their data sheets. So with the data sheet, you will be able to understand as to what are these specifications, and then we'll be looking into program involving instructions for data transfer. Okay, so it can be from register to register, or it can be from register to memory, okay, or it can be from for using push pop instructions. So all these will be involved. Then program to demonstrate memory access, okay, to find out whatever is the contents of a specific memory address, and all those can be dealt with. And there are different addressing modes. Can you name a few? Name a few addressing modes. Yes, Manideep, Aishwarya, Anjali, Akhilesh. Instead of messages, you can actually directly unmute and respond. That will be much better, right? Okay. So I have got few responses on that. So we have direct, indirect, right? And a few other sorts of modes. Next, program involving logic functions, which means your logical operations can be done, okay, and or not, okay. Then program involving data conversions from one format to another format, right? Program involving shift and rotate operations, which means left shift, right shift, then rotate left, rotate right, arithmetic rotate, right? All these operations we'll be looking into. Then program to illustrate bit field processing instruction. Okay, how each bits. Okay, like for example, you have zero, carry, okay, negative, overflow. So all these bits, how do we extract information from these bits and how do we find out the values? Okay, then program to illustrate the saturation operation, programs involving floating point. uh, can you tell me what's a floating point operation? Yes, you can unmute and respond.
Which contains decimal values.
Good, good. So which contains decimal values. Now we have seen a processor 8086, right? And there is another processor called 8087. So this 8087 is nothing but called arithmetic coprocessor. Okay, so 8086 cannot actually deal everything on its own. So it takes the help of another processor called 87, okay, 8087. So this deals with the decimal notations and the operations involved in the decimal points. Okay. So similarly, we'll be looking into the programs which have these floating point instructions. And then some blinking LED, okay, using general purpose input output ports. And this will be using your ARM board and an LED with delay, okay, without delay, blinking of an LED, okay, and to turn on the LED only when the button is pressed, okay, and off when it's released, okay, just like push button. And you will have generation of PWM. What is PWM? Yes, what is?
Pulse width modulation.
Yes, pulse width modulation. Very good. So based on the width of each pulse, okay, the signal is actually encoded, right? Next, embedded C program to demonstrate serial communication using ARM Cortex. Okay, so how serial communication? Can you give me one example of serial communication? An example of serial communication? Okay, someone says USB, fine. Another best classic example can be the communication that happens between computer and printer, right? So the signals are sent serially one by one. Then uh, demonstrate interrupt operations using embedded C program. Okay, so that is timers, stopwatch, all those. So we will have at least about 3 to 4 programs for uh, your interfacing. Okay, and these will not be just limited to only 10 experiments. So variations can be done. So I can tell you to add 2 8-bit, 2 16-bit, 2 32-bit. Okay, so in which you will have to look into the overflow. Okay, and let's see as to where or how you will utilize your registers for accessing data. Right. So these are your 4 course outcomes. Sorry, 6 we have. Conducting experiments to understand data transfer and memory access instructions. So once you finish these, okay, so these are the outcomes that you will be able to perform, or you'll be able to understand as to how data is transferred and it's having memory access instructions. Then construct code for data processing using ARM instructions. So you will be exploring okay, whatever is the instruction set with ARM. Okay, there are a lot of open source websites which can actually help us in getting a lot of syntaxes for uh, coding. Okay, one such example can be your infocenter.arm.com. Okay, so they have their own community who actually develops, who actually sorts out these questions or doubts relating to coding and the syntaxes and the errors that could occur while programming. Okay, write code for given applications using bitfield and process control instructions. Okay, so you'll be able to do that. Then develop code for DSP applications. Okay, so for various applications, for various signal analyzing and processing applications, it can be written. See, embedded is all about a combination of both hardware and software, right? We are not just talking about the software debugging, but then we are also talking about the hardware that gets connected and how this information is passed and how this information is retrieved and what we do with the processed data, right? So this is what is called a co-design, right? Hardware, software, co-design. Co-design means together. Together it has both hardware and software, right? Okay. Use embedded C code to demonstrate peripheral interfacing with ARM development board, right? So you'll be able to understand as to how this communication happens between the board, the computer, how the communication, how the bits are transferred. Okay, stepwise execution can all be checked using, with the help of this lab. Construct interrupt operations for specific applications. So what are interrupts here? What is an interrupt? Let's say there are about 3 to 4 tasks, okay, that is to be executed, okay, one by one. And if something comes up in between, okay, which is having more priority, okay, so the currently executing task will be held. Okay, a virtual memory concept comes into picture, and this memory location address, the status of how much processing had happened on the current execution, everything will be transferred to a virtual memory, and the one with the highest priority comes into picture, it pitches in, and the execution happens for that instruction. Okay, so this is called an interrupt operation. So these interrupts can be hardware interrupts or it can be software interrupts, right? So based on the priority, based on where it is used, it is classified. Okay. So any doubts till now, whatever we have discussed so far? If nothing, then we can proceed, right? Okay. So these are some of the instructions that we'll be looking into. Okay, for adding two 32-bit numbers, for addition of first 10 numbers. Okay, so it's like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 9 plus 10. Okay, so like that. So first 10 numbers, so it's like factorial 10. But then here the addition happens. Assembly language program for reverse subtraction of two 32-bit numbers. So these are some of the things that we'll be looking into. So I think ma'am will be sharing the link with all of you, okay, to download the software, and you can actually get it installed. How many of you have got it installed? Does anyone of you have got it installed? We'll be needing key 4 or 5. I suggest you go with 5. Okay, so you can download the software and get it installed. Fine. So I'll be just giving you a glimpse of the registers. Okay, and then probably you can look into it in a very detailed manner. As I was telling you, this first lab is just going to be the study of ARM Cortex M4, right? So you'll have registers from R0, okay, to R15, right? And R0 to R7 are your lower registers. R8 to R12 are your high registers, right? And you can see that we have general purpose registers from R0 to R12. Then these are special purpose registers, which is stack pointer, okay, link register, program counter, all these are special purpose registers. So we will be using this in push and pop instructions exclusively, right? And uh, your PSR, program status register, your control register, and these are all for masking purpose, okay? And these are all also called special purpose registers, okay? Your PSR and to control. So these are some of the things that you'll have to understand, okay, before starting off with the lab. So I'll be asking you what are the benefits, okay, and we will be posting a few questions in your classroom, and you'll be looking into that, okay. So let us just see few instructions. I know you have already gone through these in your theory subjects, but just to give a glimpse, okay. So ADC is nothing but your add with carry, okay. So here, how does it work? Okay, first is going to be the destination. Okay, this is going to be the destination, and this is going to be the source. Okay, so source comma the destination comma source. Okay, so that's going to be the format that we will be using throughout. Okay, so source will be at the extreme right hand side. Okay, similarly BL branch with link. Okay, uh, then compare and branch if 0. So like this, there are a lot of instructions. So I want you to look into it, and we will be discussing about it later. Can someone tell me what is this NOP? I think you have used this already in your labs. NOP. How is this instruction really important? NOP. Usually, we use this instruction NOP whenever we need to slow down the processor. Okay, whenever there is some data that is to be transferred, and if the peripherals that are connected are slow and if the processor is fast, then there are chances of data mismatch or data loss. So in order to have a sync of data between the peripherals and in the processor, okay, we use something called NOP, which is no operation. Microprocessors, we would have used it a lot. Right? Okay, so these are all the instructions, and we will be using them extensively one by one. So I think from here, it's going to be your keel. And if you have installed this, I think quite a few of you already have it, right? So yeah. So the first thing is, creating a project. So project means it can have different files in it, and these files can be different programs. Okay, so project is, for example, embedded lab can be a project, and in that project you can add new files. You can do, for example, the first one will be adding Okay, the second one will be from, say, LCM, something like that. Okay, so we'll be creating a project. So how do you do it? You click on project and new microvision project. And the first thing that you will have to do is open your key, and you will have to select the target, okay, device for target. So we will be using this ST Microelectronics, okay, and the code is STM32F401RE. So we will be exclusively working with only this startup file, okay. So we need to make some necessary changes here in the startup file, and we need to add it to source group. So uh, uh, probably lines 180, 83, 84, we need to put semicolon, right? So we will discuss that once we come into the programming part. So once the startup file is ready, then you'll be clicking on build file and check for errors. So if any errors are there, it will show, and then you can work on them. If not, then probably you can debug, and you can start the execution, or you can get into run mode. Okay. So the general algorithm, okay, that we are going to employ, okay, for any program, okay, is initializing the code area. Remember, in microprocessors, it had a uh, code segment, okay, and data segment, right? So we are initializing the code area, and then we are linking the program code to the processor, right? So then we are going to load the values of whatever registers are given. This is exclusively written for the addition. Okay, the first one that you're seeing here, write an assembly language program to add two 32-bit numbers. So we are writing an algorithm here, okay, and R0 and R1 are the registers, and we are going to use the instruction add, okay, and the result is going to be stored in R2, and that is the end of your code area. So let us look into the program here. Okay, of course we need field microvision 5, and you know the programs are going to be pretty simple. Okay, provided you just understand as to how these locations are passed from one point to another point. So you're initializing the code, okay, and then you're giving the data here, R0 and R1, you're giving the data, and then you're telling add R2, add R2, comma R0, comma R1. So R1 and R0 both are added, and the result is stored in R2. So this side is going to be your source, okay, and this is going to be your destination, and this is going to be the operation, okay, as to what operation has to be performed between these two registers. Okay, so in order to perform that operation, you need to have some data in. Okay, so 10 and 20, and we are adding that. So the result 30 should be in your R2, and then we can stop the loop here and in the program, right? So we're giving 10, okay, or not R1. The result is going to be here, okay, but then we can even move it to R2. Okay, it can be moved to R2, right? So this is how the coding is done, and your uh, key is used. So now I would like you all to get started with installing the software, getting to know what is ARM Cortex M4, okay, studying the data sheet of that. And if any doubts, yes, you can always get back to us, and we will be more than happy to solve them, and we can have another discussion. Is that fine, all of you? Yes? Okay.